a reporting meeting to the monthly meeting, which is the circuit leaders meeting, and then to the quarterly meeting. The only difference between the circuit leaders meeting and the quarterly meeting is the circuit minister presides over the circuit leaders meeting, monthly meeting, and the quarterly meeting is when the divisional superintendent visits the circuit and conducts that meeting and hears the report within that circuit. I hope that is clear. And 6.4 of the Constitution clearly states that the frequency of it is monthly. I have reduced this meeting previously in Wesley Circuit. Only this meeting, the circuit leaders meeting, the monthly meeting, was held. There was no preparatory meeting or the local church meetings. We have so many meetings. And I heard Janice in the last meeting mention something about it. So I decided to reduce the circuit leaders meeting. That's why we didn't have any circuit leaders meeting for the last 2 months. But today, I will combine them in one meeting, because we had also agreed that at the quarterly meeting, once we will have no circuit meeting, just a quarterly meeting. So we have 2. But in fact, I've dropped another circuit meeting in the quarter. As I agree, there's just so many meetings we have. We meet too much, we do little. The composition of the circuit leaders meeting is also spelled out in the Constitution. They are the ordained ministers. The ministers on probation, the lay pastors or catechists, lay preachers, which is all these lay preachers here. We've already gone through that list. Class leaders or cell group leaders, as you also know. Wesley City Mission Church, Suva Central. You have how many classes? Suva Central, Raiwanga, Veisari, Tamabua. Is it Veisari or Lami?
There's Veisari, there's Lami.
There's Lami. Any other? And who are the leaders of these class meetings? Suva Central, Susana Tisawau. Veisari, John O'Connor. Tamabua. Suva Central is Susana. Rewanga is Mr. Amitai,
Amitai Polondo.
Veisari John O'Connor Tamabua. Titilia Nangiana. It's Lami, not Veisari. Any other? USP. Who's the leader of USP?
USP Dr. Tony.
Ilmo.
He's left. So Peter is empty.
Peter Tisawa.
So he's no longer the. But did that come to your meeting? That the changes happened? So he's still there. Acting is Peter Tisawa, eh? Naka.
Namandi.
Is there another one? Namandi?
Samula
Who's the leader in Namandi?
Mr. Kat.
Kalau kita lihat ni posisi.
Apinisa. And then
Pacific Harbor. You have Roman Road. How many class meetings you have? Do you have another one, Wesley?
yes, Dolesu.
Rolo Isuba. And who's the leader there?
Nancy.
Nancy Heritage. And are all the cell groups well and alive?
It's
No.
functioning.
It's a concern. We'll talk about that later. Pacific Harbor Wesley Church.
Rewang is Amitai.
USB Orange Lounge Cunningham, Nambua, Cunningham, and CIS.
Huh?
Nambua, Cunningham, and CIS.
Yeah.
Nambua.
Cunningham.
Who's in Nambua?
Lendu.
What?
They join up with Dolesu.
So Titilia, she's not Tamabua then. You guys are confusing me. Please speak English.
Miss Nagara is Tamangua.
Okay, Suva Central is Susana Tuisawa.
Yes, sir.
Raiwai Rewanga is Emitai Mbolonduandua.
Yes, sir.
Lami is John O'Connor.
Yes.
Is there a Tamabua class meeting?
Yes, Tamangua.
Who is the leader there?
Miss Nagara.
Titilia Nangera.
Yes, sir.
USP Ilimo Dawi, acting Peter Tuisawao. Namandi Apenisa Vata. Doloi Suba, Namandi who?
Yes, sir.
Doloi Suba Nancy Heritage.
Nambua, Cunningham, and Radhi Doris were they combined because the
They
team
combine.
is domestic.
We don't know Nambua, Cunningham. I think Cunningham, Nambua,
They combine with Dolesu
all with Doloi Suba.
Yes.
Okay.
Slash
That, but John, I see you reading that from the newsletter.
Yeah, from the newsletter.
So that newsletter is wrong.
And according to it, Thomas Chico is the
And according to the Tomasic Tico is the leader,
yes, sir.
not Nancy
The
Heritage.
latest.
According to the
Oh, yeah. So Tomasic Tico, not Nancy Heritage. Eh?
Set. Thank you.
Pacific Harbor Wesley, how many class meetings you have?
Together 7. Yeah.
Altogether 7. Can you name them for me?
Roman Row 1, which is Roman Row 1 North. Roman Row 2.
Who's the leader? Who's the leader?
Roman Row 1, Glen Paul.
Len Powell.
Roman Row 2, Bogatawa Powell. Roman Row 3, Bogatawa Wesley.
Roman Row 3.
Yep. Tamlogo, Mr. Reyes Wanga.
That's Alfred, Freddie Wesley.
Roman Row 3.
Yeah,
Tamlogo, Mr. Reyes Wanga.
Tauno.
led by Florian Ercito.
And then you have the youth group as a
We-
step.
We are also working on Balea to become his
Orion,
Ercito.
so that's 6, eh? Not 7.
6. The 7th one is Pakambalea. We are working on
Wakambele is the new edition. Work in progress, eh?
Yes, Sunata.
Nasino Wesley Church, Benjamin. Who's the leader for Benjamin?
Sir.
Oh, Julian Wickham. Levi,
Mr. Chair, Levi and Zebulon are held in church, led by Wakaway.
so this is one group, 2 names.
Yes, sir.
Is there any other group? Any other set? Class?
Judah is from Waila to Nakasi, led by Tom Lewa.
Yes.
Iskar is from Botswana, plus those physically challenged attendees, led by Mrs. Kessel Pritson.
Who? Kesa Wilson.
Yes, sir.
And any more?
Simeon,
Simeon.
led by Patrick Raphael.
Yeah.
And Ruben Self by Henry Taylor.
Thank you. Lami Oceania.
Thank you. We have 6 class groups in Marine Drive.
Marine 5.
Marine Drive.
Marine Drive. Iyo.
And the leader is Angelina. Solomon Street. Simon and Stella in Mahaka.
Yeah.
Nakula Street. Pinamawala. NQW, Memory, and
NQW.
Somi and Salmo.
Wikanaswamy
Yes.
and Jim Sam.
Queens Highway and Masebu Street. Masebu.
Yeah.
Usaya and Mariana Tucano. Delena Pesi and Tucano.
Mariana. They were
Delena.
Nagasi.
Delena Pesi. Pamarasi Murpan and Alfred William.
That's it. So these are the cells and the names of those from the cell who are members of this meeting. Second is the stewards. In brackets, circuit steward, church steward. Remember, it's clear here that it's circuit steward and church steward, not chief steward in the local church. Chief steward in the local churches. Sometimes I go around when I go to services and they make the announcement and please see the chief steward. Saya akan doang anak chief steward. Saya akan ilew. There's not many chief steward. There's only one chief steward in the division. So if you saying the wrong thing, the small people listening to you will say the wrong thing too. So pass on the right message. So circuit steward, church stewards, communion stewards, and church treasurer. And these are the names that are there. As for the communion stewards, I do not have their names, but if they are here, they are members of this meeting.
So, I have my name recorded twice. But go.
Oi, sangat sabi sawi kena dami ilai tiang bulan nakau. Sabi sawi.
And the Timothy name will live.
Timothy Nai Banlim, thank you. Ilaitia peace twice. All right. Superintendents of Sunday schools. I've just got Wesley Circuit, your Sunday school superintendents from your local churches. They are members of this meeting. Leaders of young people societies approved by the conference. I've only got Wesley, Paris Walabola. You know your leaders for the youth in the local churches. Now, one representative of each society connected with each church, duly elected by the annual meeting of the society, duly elected by the annual meeting of the society, and being a member of the church. So that person's name is part of this meeting. So, for example, if you have 120, from the first 30, you can choose one. For every 30 church members, you choose one rep. The remainder of, you can choose another. But the maximum is 6. That's why we need the congregational reps from your churches as well, who are members of the circuit monthly meeting. Yes, is this Lisa? Yeah.
What's the definition of society here?
The definition of society, this is an old terminology, fellowship groups that we have. Really, that's the word that was used back in the
Not
days.
ministry.
Ministry, society, fellowship, those are interchangeable words. The choir master, choir masters, choir mistresses, or organists, if members of the church. Only if members of the church. Deaconesses, deaconesses on probation. Leader for evangelism. Leader for Christian citizenship and social services. And one representative for every 30 confirmed members. Sorry, that's what I was reading up over here. No, I'm sorry, I misinterpreted I. What I was interpreting is not I. I is okay, one representative of each fellowship group or society. What I was interpreting earlier on is O, one representative for every 30 confirmed members, and one for any remaining part thereof, to be elected by members of each church or preaching place, but not exceeding 6. So take for example, if Wesley members is 491, we only can have 6. The same. If a number is divisible by 30 and exceeds the number 6, we will only take 6. And this is one of the reasons why I've just opened meetings to everybody to come, so we can come and talk as a family. So I hope that is clear. If you have any questions, you may raise. But when it comes to voting, these names can vote. I know in the past we have had votes taken, but they were not members of the meeting. Yes, the reason why I invite people to come is I want to encourage, the members of the congregation to come and listen and learn, so that we can keep imparting the right information and right knowledge to the next generations following. But when it comes to voting, please remember this point. Thank you. We shall move on to, we don't have any minutes for the last meeting with us. Lamba has told me that she couldn't get those minutes out in time, and let's be understanding of Lamba. She's been doing a lot of hard work. We don't have those minutes now, but we can look at it in the next meeting. But we can go straight into the business for today. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. This is how we will do it. I'm going to ask the catechist from the churches if you have any recommendations from your local church coming to this meeting. I will invite you to present those recommendations. Pacific Harbor, your report is on the screen. Are there any recommendations from your local church meeting to this meeting?
None.
There's none. Lame Oceania, is there any recommendations you have to this meeting from your local church meeting?
We would like to our late preachers meeting recommendations. We would like to
Your lay preachers meeting recommendation.
the exam results for Mr. Menota, the outcome of those who sent for their catechist exams. We are just inquiring and the results coming out.
Oh, it should be out already. I'm going to get, who set the exams this year? For the catechist exams?
From London, Mr. Menota.
From Lagos Nainoda, from Wesley, anyone?
And Mr. Vamaras.
And Mr. Vamarasi.
And his papers were missing.
Yeah?
So we would like to also.
Oh, he had told me his papers was missing, somebody was handed in late. Yeah. But did he sit the exams again this year? No, he didn't sit. Okay. Yeah, we have spoken already. He was meant to sit the exams again this year. But only Simon in Nainona. Okay. We'll get the results should be with MLTC, WB. there any other?
One of our members is Emily is very related, is living shopping totally.
Which
Emily is
Yan Malesi o kay Nabete?
She will be leaving us shortly to migrate to the US. And
Is she the wife of Simon? No.
the younger sister, yes.
The younger sister.
Tema. Our Tema.
Oh, she's moving.
Migrating to the US.
Okay.
And we would like to request a transfer letter.
Thank you. Please note that.
And
let me-
this change in our stewardship, we have William Etumamwala who has stepped down, and Mr. Jose Kana is now in our.
It's a recommendation to this meeting. William Etunamwala has stepped down from the role of steward, local church steward, and Usaya Tukana has stepped up and stepped into the role. Thank you very much, Usaya. Let us put our hands together. All in favor of the decision, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. So sa alam di Pacific Hub, sistema Pacific Hub, na sino?
So Chair, our recommendation for the religious meeting, those religious on time.
That's the only recommendation from the late preachers meeting. Thank you. That's already been passed from the late preachers meeting. And just for mention in this meeting, can you just mention their names again, Dr. Julian?
Yeah, Elijah Antonio, Willie Taito, and Alfred Antonio is just coming back to the Wesley Circuit.
That's a recommendation from the late preachers meeting. If you're in agreement or if you have any questions on any of those persons, their names, you may speak now, or otherwise I will call for your hands in a short while. All in favor, raise your hands. Yes? Janice? Can you close that door? Maybe it would be better if the doors are closed or the fans are off, switched off. I had purposely left those doors closed so that we can the names of the lay preachers that Julian Weeby had mentioned, the three names from Nasinu has been accepted at the lay preachers meeting and endorsed and brought to this meeting for approval. The names were read to us, and now the decision is with us to make. Unless you have any questions or any query on any of those persons, you may speak now. If not, if you're in favor, raise your hands. Thank you. The names again, Julian, please.
Naka, we have Ben Rafael, Elijah Antonio, and Willie Taito, and also coming in to Wesley Circuit is Alfred Antonio. Four names.
Yes, I think Willie has already been accepted.
Yes.
Only the three. Okay, that's done. Have I covered the 4 churches?
No, Wesley.
Wesley?
Some recommendations.
Recommendations from Wesley? You
No,
have the paper before you?
Page 2, some recommendations there.
Page 2, recommendations.
The motion regarding more information on local church to be included in the MCA.
Can you point us to the specific box?
Page 2, the first one.
The first one, a good relationship with the congregation. We strive to work as best we can with everyone by building one another through acts of love and service.
No, the page number 2.
This is page number 2. Oh. Is this the Wesley? Not that one.
Yeah.
Oh, there's only 2 papers here. So there's no copies here? I don't have any copy of that report. Let me just see. Yeah,
Page 2, the first one.
page 2, yeah?
The motion regarding more information on local church to be included in MCA Constitution was raised at President. The motion regarding more information on the local church to be included in the MCA Constitution was raised at the Wesley Circuit Quarterly Meeting on 29 June.
Yeah, I had already raised this at the Constitutional Review Committee that I'm a part of. And the late Absalom Tundreo had also raised a similar question. But we were told that concerning the local churches, they are covered in the separate. So that's why everything comes and stops at that separate level. And the Constitutional Review is on its 3rd year now, so the final reading of the review is next conference. And after that, you will get another constitution. And then we will wait again for another review of the Constitution. And I hope there's a lot of things to review in the Constitution. And in fact, we should really go back to lessening the meetings we have in our church. So many meetings. Any other recommendations?
P.5, recommendation to the circuit for the levy calculation to be reverted to number-based methodology was taken.
We've already made a decision on that. Just recommendations. What recommendations are you bringing from your last meeting? If there's no recommendations, we move on.
The names of the confirming members are there.
Confirmed members,
21
7.
names. Page 3, yeah? Yeah. It's there. And confirmation Sunday will be on 3rd November, 10:45.
Move that we receive the 21 names: Milan King, Gideon King, Willie Balenambuli, Felipe Walilakamba, Noah Walilakamba, Marianne Mulanakawa, Solomoni Tawake, Wadi Soba Tawake, Wasemada Tuisawao, Jacob Tawake, Rosaline Erenatau, Lotte Bakarau, Isimeli, Esther Tuinamoala, Andy Laisa, Kimwara, Bryce, Diane, Bella B, Nara, Yu, and Hubert. These are the 21 names.
Yes.
My question to you, Taltala, is have they completed the full course, and what percentage of the course have they completed?
We are in the last section, section C.
Have they been attending all?
They are.
Do you have an attendance list of their?
Yes, I have attendance is mostly 80-70%.
The minimum is they have to at least attend 80%.
Okay.
Only those who attend 80% will be confirmed.
Thank you.
For the rest who haven't attended, the 70, they will have to finish the ones that they have not finished. So if you can refresh this list again and just send it by me so that I can see it. Huh?
Page 5.
Page 5.
There's a recommendation there. Mrs. Unise Dawar is recommended to be a new treasurer.
Miss Unise Dawan to be the new WCMC treasurer. That's a recommendation that's been brought here. Any seconder? Okay, now we have just a bit of an explanation on Unise. This is the meeting. When is Unise here? Oh, yeah, I know Unise.
Yes.
She is a very capable person.
Yes.
So, any seconder?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Unise, for accepting that role. We did a lot of work in that area. Naka.
That's also.
That's it, eh?
Yes.
No other recommendations? Yes, Usai?
We still have a few recommendations from Rami that was not,
Okay, continue.
Oh.
of progressing.
We would like to bring to this attention of this meeting our 6 members of our young people who have been confirmed. They've gone through their confirmation classes for the last 6 months. They could be received as confirmed members of the church. They are Taina Diloy, Elizabeth Carol Malang, Esther Mutfana, Rosa Rambo Jr., Edith Sabo, and Joseph Taylor. I hope that they will receive by the meeting.
Salah kau tidak ada tu confirmation, salah tu confirm.
Support firmers.
Yeah. But we have also received them
Yes,
in
already.
previous meetings, their names to undertake confirmation. So their names have been confirmed, and then we received them also in this meeting as confirmed. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Naka.
Next one is for baptism. We have 2 infants who request baptism from their parents. Baby Alexia Wilson and son of Thomas and Rhonda Wilson, and Judith Holmes, son of Isaiah and Susanna Holmes. So we're requesting baptism.
Have you taken them for? They been confirmed?
Parents.
No, the children.
Their babies.
Oh, their babies.
Infants.
Okay, okay. Give their names to us, please, after this. So it's been moved. Any seconder? All in favor say aye. Thank you.
There's also further movement in our church and workers, leaders. Lydia South Mario is retiring from our treasurer post, and we have appointed Elena Malan to replace as treasurer.
Lydia Mario is stepping down from the treasurer of the local church, and Elena Lomalani is replacing her. That's been moved. Any seconder? All in favor say aye. Thank you. Melissa is moving to the US, and Mariana Tutana is replacing her as the communion steward. That's been moved.
Continuing as community steward.
She is the second community steward. Always trusted in life. So Marian Tan is taking over the responsibility.
Or taking over her responsibility. Has been moved. Any second? All in favor, say aye.
Also, as a supporting role to our church secretary to support Diamba in her secretarial duties for our church, we have appointed Charlotte Nasome.
Charlotte Nasome to replace Lamba Alva. Or to assist. And we thank Charlotte for helping Lamba in Milan. Now, all in favor, say aye.
We also would like to bring the attention of this meeting that our men's fellowship has started a virtual meeting every Thursday. And this is headed by Mr. Semi Kutemo and Pamela Simon. As part of their cell group, men's fellowship cell meetings.
Thank you. So the men are meeting virtually now.
Mainly because of the inability of our members meeting to come together. We find it difficult for our men
So
to.
the recommendation is for the men to meet virtually,
And they have started.
and they have started. Okay. In terms of fellowship meeting, you don't have to bring a recommendation to this meeting for them to meet. You just meet it. That's a requirement. You meet. So that's a normal practice. Just keep it going. Whether it's virtually or face to face.
Also continue, just to be reminded again in this meeting that our annual soli will be in October,
The annual soul in October. What date in October?
the month of October.
The whole month of October. Okay. That's been approved already in the meeting? Okay.
This
Sorry?
is the second time we brought it up. I
Okay.
remember.
If it's brought up already, please don't bring it up again. Sa pasiotia. Because it takes us time when we in our meeting. So if it's passed already in one meeting, you just work it, okay? Work it. Nah. Anything else?
That's all.
Now we'll leave. Nah. Moving on. Anyone else?
Page, Chair, Mr. Chair, page 8
Page 8.
from verse 8. That the lay preachers meeting to be held on separate day to the circuit quarterly meeting, or if on the same day, that the time be clearly communicated in advance to all leaders, not only to the lay preachers. Thank you.
Thank you. It has always been a practice for the last 4 years. Here in Wesley Circuit, that our lay preachers meeting precedes the circuit meeting, the quarterly meeting. So it's nothing new.
Yeah.
And we've always started at 9 o'clock. Good, you starting at 9 o'clock here. When I was here as the second minister in Wesley, we started at 6 o'clock. We came, we prayed, and then our meeting started at 7. By 9 o'clock we were done. So,
Thank you.
salute to Nomosotnya.
Yeah.
Just remember that. And I hope you can just keep that in mind. So no other recommendations from the leaders' meetings, local chief, yes?
Page 5.
Page 5,
Another resolution.
No.
page 5.
we are recommending from the Wesley Circuit Initiatives the motor vehicle loan repayment that we paid last year for 49 something to be offset against the levy. The leaders of the Wesley Circuit Initiatives recommended that.
That can be done, just offset and see what's left, or any problem with that? Yes, Tirarali.
Just want to ask,
I just want to ask, just to be specific, which levies that is ODR, which you want to offset against the motor vehicle law? The second levy, which year? Current year. On Finance and Property Committee, we have an issue on that. Which we're going to talk about when we do the presentation on finance. Thank you.
So we'll look at that when the finance is presented. Any other recommendation from any of the churches? We're still on 3.4 of the agenda. 3.4. Please, you have the floor. Oh no, oh, he's just holding the mic for anyone who wants to speak. We're moving on. I just want to hear the spiritual state of each of the church. We'll begin with the furthest Pacific Harbour.
Thank you, Chair. As normally the worship services on Sunday continues at 10:30 a.m. with Sunday school starting at 8:30 a.m. Bible study on Wednesdays that classes have revived and regrouped, and many of the cell groups have started due to the commitments, work commitments. And it's glad to mention here that almost all the cell groups are functioning well. Members are also encouraged by the daily sermons delivered from the pulpit to devote their time as much as possible to reading God's word, prayer, fasting, and work in the activities of the church. Also, let me mention here that Pacific Harbour Wesley Church has started their work for and that began 2 Saturdays ago, last Saturday, sorry, and it continues. We're working at the church building at the moment. As for relationships within the congregation, the good relationship within the congregation, we strive to work as best we can with everyone by building one another through acts of love and service. The after service of Holy Communion Sundays provides a platform as well to bond and get acquainted well with each other, including adherent members. Our social services and pastoral care continues and are operational and continue to visit church members. Apart from that, we are also trying to do networking with other pastors within the area as to witness and extend the outreach to members of the communities. Fellowship has reached out to the elderly woman at devotions and fellowship together. This outreach and service will continue in the new quarter. Mr. State of Pacific Harbour, Wesley Circuit.
You move, any seconder from Pacific Harbour?
I move.
Seconded. All in favor say aye. Thank you. There's a written report that was sent through, that's in the email. I hope one day we'll just be paperless, so we can save our world. Nassim?
In the Singapore, we also continue to worship at 10:30 a.m. Our Sunday school starts early at 9. And two of our cell group, mostly our elderly, they also come to church. At 9 also they attend fellowship. Our lay preachers are sent to the Fiji School of the Blind, the Mount Horeb Fellowship on a month, twice at the Fiji School of the Blind and once at the Mount Horeb Fellowship. Also, on Monday nights we have the prayer meeting. Wednesdays we have the cell groups, and on Friday we have our youth, but they meet on alternate days. Sometimes they meet at Sunday, the Sunday afternoon, where the youths meet. And also, it's not part of our recommendation, but just came to mind because the Mount Horeb ran a workshop for the physically challenged community, and most of the churches were invited. But I would like to probably invite the Wesley Church. They could see what our is backing. If they want to be part of the preaching appointments at Fiji School of Blind, mostly children attend, and about 15 to 20 members at the Mount Horeb in Brown Street. So that's the invitation, and that's part of our spiritual state of the church in Nassim, Macau.
Nasinu, Lani?
Thank you, Tam Kasih. For Lami, we hold one service every Sunday at 10 o'clock. This has been well attended. Together at 8 o'clock to 9:30, we hold our Sunday school. For the young people, for the youth, we have not, in the last quarter, we have not been able to meet regularly because of the absence of the young people. We don't have such number, but we, with our new 6 members of our conferments who are secondary school people, we hope that we will be able to encourage this to make up the youth ministry in the next quarter. For our highlights of our activities regarding cell groups, at the moment, for their own spiritual fellowship, it's based mainly with us attending to the work that has been sent out. We have tried to encourage encourage the members to continue with their own fellowship individually in their homes, and to be part of fellowship together as a church in the church as we meet the requirements of such as the women's, the Mother's Day fellowship, the men's fellowship, and with the Bible studies that are sent out. So we do that in church twice a week during the week to try to get our members together to encourage the fellowship. It's tabled in our report on page 2, our highlights. Cell groups members were encouraged to participate in the activities of the MCIF conference, participation of the Wesley division, especially in the choir. And we want to highlight our choir master, Mr. Alfred Williame, and for part he played instrumental role in coordinating the Wesley Division Choir together with Mr. Wamaras Motufana, who also worked hard in encouraging our divisional choir to come together. In the city evangelism outreach, all our lay preachers were encouraged to participate in the outreach program, and Lani was represented in our meetings and also on the mission by someone, by 4 of our members. Men's fellowship, like we said, that their online prayer and Bible study sessions has started, and this is to encourage our men's fellowship. And for this coming week, the Youth Week program, we have received the timetable, the program that has been sent by the office, and also from our divisional youth coordinator, and we hope to, in this coming Youth Week, that we will not only encourage the youth, but also together as a congregation to take part in that culmination with our young people, especially for the confirmants, to lead our service on Sunday. Visitation, we, apart from the monthly visitation that we continue to do our monthly with Dr. Tokabe, who comes to us once a month to take communion to our sick and members who do not attend church, and we try as encourage our members within the cell group to encourage those who are with the visitation and the members of our congregation in our community.
You have 1 more minute.
Thank you. I think the other.
No others?
I
Move.
stop there. Thank you.
Any seconder? All in favor say aye. Who else is there? Wesley?
Mr. Chair and members of the meeting, Wesley continue to conduct 4 services, 3 services on Sunday and mid-service week. We continue to have prayer meetings at 3 p.m. and also Mondays, and prayer night vigil just finished this morning with join the prayer time and fellowship. Also, we have devotional life as a people, encouraged to uphold daily personal and family devotion in homes and contribute in bringing also praying and fasting. Relationship, I think that is good to progress community fellowship in the three services and also interact the afternoon fellowship tea at the end of the month. The outreach, we thank God for the outreach ministry that happened during the conference, and some of our lay preachers are part of the outreach, and also some of the women are continuing to outreach before the prayer meeting afternoon. And we continue to outreach to the Susan boys in their own kitchen, including the food rations. Prayer groups continue to interact every Sundays and Mondays. Encourage every member to continue to do outreach. Continue to pray for the youth week that is coming ahead, and to support our youth in their fellowship. That's all from
Moved and seconded. All in favor say aye. Just a reminder to all lay preachers, while I remember, I sent out a circular yesterday evening concerning your preaching assignments for the next quarter. Please respond to the emails if you're available. If you're not available, if you don't respond, then I will assign those who respond to the email for the last quarter. Youth Sunday is also coming up on the 29th, and all lay preachers, a circular has also been sent out to all lay preachers that were assigned on that Sunday, that they can take a breather. The youth will take that Sunday service. On that same Sunday, on the 29th, there won't be any 4:30 service here. We have started an interfellowship with Dudley and Churchwood, and that fellowship will be held at Turek at the Dudley Church. I'm glad that the division superintendent for the Indian Division, Reverend Lal Mohammed, whose video is going viral after the conference, reminded me that it's their turn to host. And just bear this in mind, when there's 5 Sundays in a month, the 5th Sunday will be a combine with Dudley. We're moving on to Churchwood, then we'll move on to Centenary. We need to build our bonds, as a body of Christ, as Methodists. That's happening, and we thank God for that. And Ichthus Fellowship is on the 26th, next week. That's another thing that we've done. We thank God. We're building ecumenical fellowship with our other brothers and sisters of other denominations. So that's now. Are there any questions from anyone concerning the reports that were mentioned this morning? The Ichthus meeting will be held here at Wesley. We're hosting. If there are no questions, I have questions to ask. How's the church attendance in your churches? Are you keeping attendance? The stewards keeping attendance of the church services?
Yes, from Wesley.
Wesley, yes.
It's putting the news.
Pacific Harbor? Nasino? Lami? You keeping attendance? Lami keeping attendance? Nasino and Pacific Harbor?
No.
You? No. Nasino, no? Okay. Please keep attendance. Keep attendance. It's important. That's data. We need to have the data. Data is very important. It helps us. If we don't have data, we'll just be aiming in the dark. Some of the things we're doing. We've had, I was at a ministerial session at Ndawilebu this Thursday, last Thursday. And we were told that the number of candidates for the ministry in the Methodist Church has fallen to 170. During our time, it was 2,000. I had already made this prediction in the church some years ago, that unless we change some of the things we're doing, we're going to face this. And when the principal mentioned that at the meeting on Thursday, I wasn't surprised. But many were surprised. And the same thing I've been echoing also in our churches and in our meetings. Don't take for granted that people love to come to church. Only you love coming to church. Unless you make them love coming to church, they won't come. Let's not kid ourselves. When I was here, we built that mezzanine floor, my first stint here, with Reverend Torah. That mezzanine floor was built during our time, Archisido. This church was packed. We couldn't cater for the people. They were sitting outside, they were up on the mezzanine floor. I come back and I see a lot of empty spaces. So let's not take for granted that people love church. They love God. Yes, they do. Church. You see it around the world. You see it in New Zealand, Australia, America, England, Canada. Churches are closing down. But that doesn't mean that people don't have a relationship with God and they don't love God. No, they still have a relationship with God and they love God. But something has turned them away. And we need, the only solution to that is truth, honesty, being real. That's the only thing that will draw people to Christ and to His church. When they don't see the truth, oh, they'll just walk away. You know, this is one I was really touched by this response. A little girl, she's probably in class 3 or 4. We went to their house and we visited them. And I said, "Hello, how are you?" And I, "Oh, I'm okay. I didn't see you in church today." And she goes, "I really don't have to go to church." That's why our pews are missing the young. It's time our church gets empty and we are out there in the world. If a few of us think we'll keep coming to church and it will increase, we're kidding ourselves. We're having an aging church. We're growing older. The young are missing. So what more can we do? That's the question that we must answer. Are we seeing new families coming to church on Sundays? Are we intentionally reaching out to go speak to those families? We need to look at that and work on it. Moving on. We will go to properties and finance, and we won't spend too long on this area. But properties are all, I've mentioned already in meetings past that the driveway at 12 Avenue is cracking and breaking. It needs work. No one has come and have a look at it and to do work on it. You are leaders. That's a church property. I've been asking for fans in the house in Rewanga because it's a hot house. Till today, no fans are installed in that house. There's water gushing out of the wall in the laundry area. We've mentioned that already. Nothing done. The sink, bench is rotting. And in fact, there's a hole there, the sink bench now. Not because of carelessness, but because of the quality of workmanship. How it's built. We've tried to take every possible care we can to look after the property. Who's going to do it? I leave that with you. Before we hear the stewards come and talk to us about the property. How about the other properties? Kaltala Joseph has that house in Service Street.
To come and survey again, see.
Come and survey again and see. He's too polite. He should just say it's leaking, and it's been leaking for some time. This is our problem. We need to speak the truth always. How's the churches? In the 4 churches, Pacific Harbour House and Church there, the building. You need any maintenance work?
At the moment, they doing the water blasting, the walls and the roof and the repaint.
They're doing the water blasting. Good, great. Nasimu, how's the property there? Sir? I don't know. Lami? And now, Wesley property? How is our properties here in Wesley? Church, all good? Second phase now, nothing. So that covers the property. Anything else to live on property? Or does that cover it?
Thank you, sir. I've sent out an annual inspection checklist. So I request that we'll have that tape once it's filled out next quarter. We ask that there be an approximate and cursory inspection be done of all the properties in the circuit. We received one from the city of Wesley, which we have reported this way. In regards to the 2 properties, certain properties, property in Amy Road and as well as Silver Street. We've had some issue with the Silver Street property. We have also mentioned about the property at Amy Road. The fact is, we made plans. But since we do not have enough in our account, we were not able to proceed with the work. We then dragged on, due to the delay, this cost the work of those properties to be attended to. There's an issue with the property in Silver Street in regards to the land lease and the renewal of the lease. It's with the MCIF office and the renewal of the trustees, which I believe that they have done. And a communication with the office last week on that, they still have to report back for it. That's about the property, sir.
Right here?
Regarding the maintenance, I have not seen a budget for the capex for Service Street in the division of the circuit budget. So what I understand is there was a survey done, and I think Mr. Semi did an assessment of it. So that has been done way back. Wesley Church, because we understand that some of the issues that Taltala had. So we've actually gone in, and in the last meeting it was discussed where Chief Stewart was there as well, because we are not too sure as to who is responsible for what. But because of Taltala's urgent need, we actually had set up a water tank. Coming to the second stage now is the screens, because what we've been told by somebody there's some outstanding work that needs to be done, and it's been pending for a long time. The survey has been done, but no work's coming through. It's not a matter of money, but we need to see that coming in and be budgeted for. So we know what amount we're looking at. It's been done, it's just yet to be quoted, to see what the cost will be. Then probably the church will be able to come up here for approval from the, I think that's a process should take place. For us to be thinking that waiting for the money, we budget first and we know what's going to come next. Then we can see how to source funds out for the repair. Because we know it's urgent, and then we're coming close to this, almost half of the calendar year now, and that needs to be resolved fast because the building is for deterioration. Thank you.
Thank you. There's a statement made that there was nothing in CAPEX in the budget for the maintenance of the properties. I'm sure there was something in the CAPEX for the properties. It's in the budget. It's a small amount.
Yeah, that's just maintenance.
Yeah, maintenance. And this is what I'm saying. If the maintenance are done on time, that small amount will be sufficient. You leave it for too long, that's why it gets worse and you spend more. That's why you have a small amount put in the budget so that this work continues annually. You go, you fix it. When it's small, you fix it. You don't wait until it's big, you're wasting the resources of the kingdom. This is the problem of the stewards in the church. Nobody else's problem. You have even a finance and property committee. You're sleeping on the job. And we need to do something serious about this. No more. I've had enough. 5 years is enough for me. And we need to do something now. I love you all the same. You will always be who you are to me. But when it comes to doing something, we have to do it. There's no bad feeling. I don't hate anyone. I've been transparent from the day I came here because I love this church. I love the family of Wesley. I was raised here. And this is why we spend so much. This is the same thing with Yarao, and I told Yarao, the same thing. They've been spending money just like it's falling from the tree. 30,000, 40,000. The latest one they did was 50,000. And I'm saying to myself, why are you spending so much money on one property within the span of 10 years? You can buy another house with the amount of money you're spending. They all look at me with a blank look. They're not good managers. I hope you understand my emotion there. Moving on to finances. We won't spend too long on finances. Just tell us what is owed, we move on. And let's work on it.
So may I ask the treasurer to present the financials, please.
Thank you. Our annual budget for 2024-25 is 102,789. And there are 3 churches who have paid. And I'll give you the latest update as of 18th of September 2024. Of the 107,789, Lam Oceania has cleared their dues, 6,722.40. Nasidu Church has paid 728, which leaves a balance of 3,714.33. Pacific Harbour Wesley has paid 889 of the 7,668 owing, and the local church has not paid 1 cent towards the budget. That's what's owing. They owe 77,256.21. Thank you.
Can the local church here in Wesley City Mission explain why it hasn't paid any cent towards the budget? And the rest have?
When we paid the 49,000 last year, towards the end, we were told that we will be reciprocated with a similar check. We written a letter to the chairman and also copied in all the members. However, and that's hence our request that the 49,000 to be in our leaders meeting, if we can just offset that with some of our levies, it is not forthcoming. That we offset, I think, but Bully said he'll explain that in this meeting. Probably we can hear that first before we make a decision. The only hold up is that because we're waiting for the 49,000 to come and then we reciprocate that back to pay the levies. Thank you.
Nathan, Chief Stewart.
The 2020-21. I think we have to, sir, we have to look at the year 2021. The offsetting proposition there, it's not for the year that you are mentioning. That's the last year. We're owing that much, but we're looking at the year 20 and 21. 20 and 21. If you can just arrange your books and have it organized and look at.
Jonathan, arrange your book and organize them. Let's make a decision right here, right now. This has been going on for too long.
Mr. Chairman, may I have something to say about this? You've heard the finance, the accounts. One thing that stands out like a sore thumb, as has been mentioned, the 77,000 that you are spending from the local church. In addition to that, you have 49,000. I'm just talking about nearest $1,000. 49,000 owing to the circuit. I don't know whether you've heard anything about that, but this is according to the latest figure. And 2021, outstanding levy 46,000 or 47,000. Altogether, your church owes 173,461. And I would like to, I've heard something being said here that we are to offset the vehicle costs by what you have owed. 2021, 46,447. What I would like to say here is that that particular thing you're saying should come from the circuit. It is our duty to raise that here to the division, because the division looks after, the circuit looks after the circuit finance and what circuit owes to the division. And you owe us your levy. Your levy has been outstanding, 46,747 for 2021. And rather than bringing it here, you come to us, and you don't come to the meeting to explain this. Why you haven't paid 22? In 2021, you still owe 46,747. I don't know whether you wanted to cover this up or what, but you come to the circuit, carry out your responsibility. You've been asked to carry out, be a part of the meeting, and tell us why haven't you paid your levy that you owe the circuit, and the circuit will decide how to disperse that money to pay the division or wherever it goes to. That's our job. Your job, come to circuit meeting, to the finance committee meeting, and tell us how come you haven't paid your dues. That's it. And for us, it is.
Yes, Mr. Wanga, one more minute.
Okay. So, all in all that 173,000 you owe, and which should have been clarified in our last meeting, whether this is right or wrong. I asked all the churches who were represented to tell us whether the accounting is right or wrong. And they said it's okay. Nasinu tells us that they've given us a justification of why the thing is late. But we need to find out where this 173,000, that's a whole year's budget for the service. And this is why we're not spending money, because there's no money in the bank. This local church, just for this year, 77,000 is not paid. We have the, what do you call it, the property. Where is this money coming from? How are you going to pay that when you're not paying your dues?
Thank you, Mr. Wanga.
Thank you.
Your 1 minute is up.
Yep.
Right here.
Thank you, Mr. Wanga, and I appreciate what you shared. However, I've actually, that 46,000 from 1 year, the rationale I used, if you can think about it, if Wesley Church does not pay for 1 year's or levy, the whole business would fall, because you're dependent on Wesley's 46,000. That was calculated by the meeting. However, I've sent the breakdown of what that 46,000, I sent the check numbers, I sent an email to all of you. Okay, so I think, we're discussing with the FPC that we're getting our accounts audited, okay? We will leave the auditors to finish their audit, because if they will seek confirmation from the church, from the FPC to reconcile. Ernst & Young are going through a books now. They finished 2019, they're going to go to 20, we'll get it out, because all the levies that we claim that we've done, we know we've done, but we know it from our records, but we can't see your records. So we are also recommending that your accounts get audited as well. One of the differences that I've seen that has occurred is that we shifted the goal out. 2018, 19, and 20, we used the calendar year. Then we changed it from April to March. But leaving that aside, I would like to suggest that we get the accounts audited. Our accounts are being audited. If the circuit can get the accounts audited as well, because they will have to match up. Because what we pay over all this, the payment from our side will be the receipt from your end. I think that's one best way, because we've been just going around in circles in these discussions. And whether we've paid or not, I think going forward, the last 2 years is okay, it's been paid. But the 49,000 we're requesting, because that was we had made an agreement between both parties that we will, the 49, we give a check, you pay back the 49,000. Now what we're asking is that 49,000 can be offset against our levies. That's all I can. Thank you, Dr.
Thank you.
Can I just have one question?
Yeah, you
Do
may
you
go ahead.
agree that you owe 77,000 for this year, 6 months? Do you agree that you still owe that? 77,256. From April to 6 months now, it's up a year. You haven't paid anything. Do you agree to that, you or no?
You agree what was said and agreed on?
Rather than talking about the what do you call it, the auditor, everything. Just say whether you paid it or not. 77,000 for 6 months, from April to now. There's no money in the bank.
If I may,
For this year,
our chairman is asking, have you paid any levies for 24-25? Just yes or no?
No, we not paid.
Okay, set.
okay, right.
Understanding
That's
is,
it. They haven't paid, which means that we
Order,
cannot progress any work.
order.
We cannot progress. Sorry.
Mr. Chairman, sir.
Wait, sit down. Sit down. You all take a deep breath. Take a deep breath, I'm serious. Take a deep breath. Breathe. I'm going to make a ruling here. The budget for 24-25 has been approved. All we need to do is pay in our levies. That's the simple 1 + 1. I'm not going to hear any more debate on it. The budget has been approved. In relation to what Elaithea had raised, that if the money that Wesley had paid for the vehicle can be offset against their levies, that can be done. It's just as accounting entry. Just get that done. If there's still anything left to be paid, then let them know and you pay. If you don't do that, let me tell you, you'll be fired. That's the simple answer to it all. Janice?
Chair, just on the approved budget, at the last quarterly, it was made clear that the approved budget was 98,000, which was approved at the previous quarterly.
I agree with you. I think it was 97.
Yes, 97.
And we had gone up to 102.
It's 107 now.
No, 102. It's 102. And I have had a look at the table, but that's one thing that I had in my mind too. I thought at the hall, when we had a meeting there, that anyone else was at that meeting in the hall, Wesley Hall? If you were in that meeting, raise your hands. Now, you just tell me here and now, was it 102 or 97?
102.
Well, I don't know where you were then.
102 was taken to the divisional meeting.
Right.
But the leaders' meeting prior to that had agreed on 97,000.
Yes.
And no amendment was agreed at the circuit leaders. And you mentioned at the last circuit, you made it clear that any change needs to come back to the circuit leaders.
So thank you, Janice, for that, because I don't know, I see 97 seems to ring in my mind. So when I saw the 102, I was a bit confused there. And if it has to go up to 102, the quarterly meeting is sitting right now, and the power is in this meeting. Everything else hangs. We can now approve the change from 97 to 102, but please explain what was the change? What was the change?
Mr. Chairman, I recall that Reverend Taukabe had a portion that was meant to be paid by local church, but the total amount has been absorbed by the circuit.
Okay, so that was the change. There was an amount that was in the Wesley, that is now that change. I think for the minister, the second minister, his stipend was, I recall when I was here, my stipend was paid by the local church here, Wesley, for my 5 years here. It was taken care of by the local church. But the circuit minister / divisional superintendent, his stipend was taken care of by the circuit. And the division assisted when needed. So that's the change. So now everything is coming into alignment. So the ministers, because they are under the circuit takes care of it. So that's a lighter burden for the local church here in Wesley.
Sorry, if you look up on the screen.
Just hold on. Let me finish. Are we in agreement of the change? If anyone wants to move that motion, move. Any second? All in favor say aye. When you raise your hands, so I can see your hands. All in favor? Okay, you got it, the majority have it. So the budget now is 102. So we are now, from now on, we will be talking on that figure, 102, not 97. We move on. Madam Treasurer, you want to say something?
If you look up on the screen, the 2023-24 budget for Reverend Tokawa stipend was 3,900, but the circuit has paid 13,021.17. That's 9121.17 over what was budgeted for. So that's it there.
What's your point?
I'm just trying to say that change, to justify the change,
Okay.
because most times we use the previous year's figures to input for our budget, but in this instance, 23-24 was 3.9, and 24-25 is 13 for his stipend.
Thank you for that. We shall move on.
I have a recommendation.
Yes, recommendation?
Remember the last meeting, we recommended, we raised the question of the Taltalas stipend. And because there was no input from other churches, we had a meeting in City Council, we raised our own recommendation, and it's here. I read it up there, and still there is no reaction from any church. So, Mr. Chairman, can I lay this recommendation be approved here?
Thank you.
Can the mic be given to him? And
Yes. They say they can hear you. They can hear you. Okay.
Okay, well, there was no reaction to the recommendation that the $10 stipend be increased. So I went back to our local church, City Council, and we raised the recommendation. We laid it here in the last meeting, and there's still no reaction to that. So what I'm proposing now, what I recommend now is that we adopt the City Council's recommendation as it stands to be enacted. And if you want, I can read it again, but if not, then...
you can look at it again, the recommendation. You are members of the Finance and Public Committee. All the local churches are represented in that meeting. And you need to attend that meeting so that you can have your voice in that meeting. Whatever you decide, you bring that here and advise this meeting on your resolution and your recommendation. So I think there is a concern being raised by the chair of the meeting that it is sometimes not fully attended by all members. So my plea to you, please attend that meeting. I'm on my way out and you want to increase my stipends. Yes, Janice? But don't look at the person, the position, whoever feels it.
Thank you, Chair. At the last quarterly, the local churches have been requested to provide their suggestions on the stipend, the review of the stipend, and I had recommended or requested that the proposal come down from the circuit FPC to the local churches so that we can comment, review and comment. And that was actually agreed at the last circuit quarterly. But we have not seen any proposal.
Okay.
Maybe it was at the circuit FPC, but we did not receive it. I'm not too sure. Thank you.
Okay. Maybe we can just share that information to everyone again. Chair? Naka?
Before the divisional meeting that we had here, the circuit finance or circuit management meeting had a meeting. That thought was brought up, and it was agreed that in discussion that Wesley already pays a total. There are a circuit was supposed to come up with a calculation to top up the total salary, and that was the case. And we look at the budget for the division; it's already there. The incremental cost, which is about 8,000, 4,000 for travel and 4,000 for the stipend of the total. That was supposed to kick in. That's where we stand, because it was agreed before the divisional meeting. It was agreed by everyone. I think Mr. Wanda, you were in attendance in that management meeting that we had prior to the divisional meeting. Thank you. That was discussed at that meeting. Thank you.
And let me just remind us also, the circuit ministers now, we've got to standardize things. The ministers' cooking gas is budgeted for. The minister's electricity is budgeted for. The minister's water is budgeted for. But there's a ceiling on these things. And the minister's telephone is budgeted for. And then his stipend and his FNPF and his travel. So these are the things that you are taking care of right now. The basic stipend of the superintendent is 16,000, and the assistant minister is 13,000. That's where you are at the moment. So if you want to sit down, we will look at it, talk about it. The thing is, you're looking at Erawa. It's a problem. You're looking at Erawa. But we have agreed that we'll have, a benchmark, a standard. We'll standardize things. Where the circuit ministers sit on one level, the divisional superintendent and circuit minister on one level. And I've been asking for this, but the divisional finance committee, they've been defunct all these years, and they're the ones who are supposed to be taking up this work to review that part, the circuit, so that the machinery hasn't been faithful in their task, and that's the real problem. If people were genuine and committed to doing their work faithfully and honestly, we wouldn't be wasting time talking about these things. So my plea with you is please. You said yes. May your yes be truly yes in all that you do for the Lord. I think we'll stop there. I've already made a decision on this subject. We will proceed, because I got a boat to catch this afternoon from Natobi. Unless there's any other thing, then I want you to leave this house today, carrying a light weight, but a heavy load. So everyone feeling light now? Good.
Not exactly.
Not exactly, okay. Give him the mic again.
I would like to read the recommendation and be approved here or not.
Naga.
On
Recommendation.
All right,
Mic.
Recommendations. One, that the Assistant Circuit Minister, referring to Reverend Sarkar, receive the same amount as the Arawa Circuit Minister. Number two, that the Wesley Circuit Minister and Wesley Superintendent, one person, as the Talmarasa, be paid 10% above the amount of the Arawa Circuit. And the third is that these payments have to be backdated to when they started 5 years ago. That's it, Mr. Chairman. Give that on the floor and
That's the motion on the floor. Any seconder? All in favor, raise your hands. Count. I'm going to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Those who oppose, raise your hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The majority have it. Now this is the way you're going to do it though. This is the way you're going to do it. While it's approved here, I want you to seriously think about it. Go and talk about it. When I was here, this is what I did. In my planning for the ministers of Wesley, because I know how the second minister came here. It was a tough meeting. Reverend Veramutora was chairing that meeting that day when he brought up the issue of a second minister. Wesley didn't have a second minister. For many years, they had only one minister. But the divisional superintendent, his decision then was that we have a second minister. Because we no longer had a catechist, but we have a second minister to fill that role. Because of the numbers back then, we had a huge number. Over 1,000 plus was the membership of this church. When I came in, Mr. Sito said to me, how about you just take over the accounts too? Because he knew my background. And so in one meeting, in my planning, I had taken $250,000 that we had saved, and Janice knows, it was put in the reserve bank. And we were receiving $26,000 in interest annually. And I used to receive the receipt. When I was in Namatakula, every time the reserve bank would send that money to the bank account of Wesley. And the reason for that was to cater for the stipends for the minister. For 10 years, that was to cater for the minister's stipend. We need planning like that. You know the reason why? I just mentioned the church is going down. The membership is decreasing. The membership is retiring. The replacement of the old is not as quick and as soon as should be. And the load that you will place on them will be too much. But if you do something like I did, where you put something away, an investment to cater for the stipends and for the increases, that's a wise decision. Not only will you be able to reduce the burden on you, on the congregation. I'm not only thinking of you, I'm thinking of the congregation, the sheep. I don't want us to chase anyone away. I want us to help people come. But your planning, your financial management needs to be up there. It needs to be on par. If it's not on par, if it's not up there, and you're making these kind of decisions, I feel for the future of the church. Look at the Methodist Church. I was at the ministerial meeting on Thursday. The assistant general secretary said to me, or said at the meeting rather, now we have to give $500 for another function at the William Theological College. Another $500, we were going to get the money. Salah kung matanga na mati. Mati ndo na italtal nga siya. Mati ndo na italtal. Kaya mami kya. We're there. I'll come to that point a little bit more later on. But come on, man. We've got to think carefully. We need to be wise. We need to think of the future of the church. This is for the long run. You and I will finish. Those who are coming is what's important. Are they coming in? Are they replacing us? That's what we need to work on. Mrs. Tushawa?
I'm just questioning our procedure today, Palapala. Because we've already passed the budget, I'm more for seeing more. As a trade unionist, I always want to see workers get more pay. But just for today, because of our budget, we've already passed the budget. I'm just wondering whether the implication on that budget, will there be an implication on the amount of the budget we have already passed when it comes to this? And so I was not putting up my hand because I thought the recommendation was coming so that we take it to our our church meetings first to discuss, and then come up with a budget that would cater for that rise. I'm just questioning the procedure, whether it's a recommendation for us to take down or for us to pass here and then try and upgrade the budget again to cater for that.
I think Janice had alluded to that earlier. That if the information, the details of the information or the recommendation, if that can be discussed in the local churches. And I think that's what Mr. Wang is saying. That's a recommendation from the Pacific Harbour local church. And that recommendation had come one time and we kind of just, but then now it's coming again. But all my plea with you is, just think carefully how you do things. We have the finances, but my problem is the management of those finances, the planning of it. If you can probably do that a little better, maybe we can tackle that. But remember, we have the divisional budget also. That's levies that we have to pay. That also is due. Perhaps if you want to do something for the minister, maybe when he leaves, you can just write him something and say, we'll just take it and go. Thank you very much. But to make a commitment like that will affect, the long run of the church, I think we need to really carefully think about it. Alfred?
Thank you, Nasi. I'd like to thank the members of the this meeting. It's a bit of concern when it comes to finance. I actually voted not to support the idea because we're still struggling with our finance. trying to get a clear ground of where we stand in finance. Probably my comment that I like to say now, or probably the statement itself. I'm a person who prefer to speak in the meeting, then I go against that Akashi or speak out there. So in the meeting here today, I'm asking if there's anything that needs to be paid up by any local church, please pay up. If there's a financial year that needs to be cleared, please clear that. If you can't clear the budget figure that was given past already, please find a solution. Find a solution. Because eventually this is what will happen. When we start talking about increase in supporting, you are going to shift a burden down to the individual later on. Our lives will probably increase. And as it is right now, our registration numbers in churches are not that many as we have been talking about. We don't have that number. But I don't know about the local churches, if you are already getting the right registered number in your church or not. Or sometimes we have a burden that our numbers are increased there at that figure, and we have to pay for that, those numbers. But members of our candidates and so forth, I guess. Now, our concern here is, my concern is your responsibility in paying up what you owe. Then we can talk about any increase. You can't commit to that, you are not responsible to that. Then we step back, I just mentioned that I support idea of what it is here. But I'd like to just make this very clear. I think this is coming from myself individually, not from Lami. I know Lami is struggling also, but we managed to try and clear everything. But this is a still respect. We are struggling, Lami is struggling. But we try our best to clear everything. When we have cleared, you've just heard the announcement said, Lami has cleared everything. But my challenge here and my statement that I want to say in this meeting, I don't want to say outside there, I'll say in this meeting. Please pay what you owe to the church. That's all. God bless you.
Now, we will end our discussion on the subject. And let me just, we had a meeting with Turalevu with the Turalevu for the division, the circuit, and the treasurers for both Yarawa and Wesley. And the good news that we bring to the floor here today is that the divisional budget, I think Arietta has sent the email to the churches, but the divisional budget, we have reduced it from 53,000 to 11,000. The divisional budget, not for the current year, but for the 2023-2024. For the 2024-2025, we've already agreed on that. So we have reduced it based on some requests. When I went on my quarterly meetings, some of the requests that came through. But this is the only time we will do this. Moving on into the future, please follow the decisions of the meeting. So 11,000, and the treasurer has sent out the dues for the division for the financial year 2021-2022. The amount of 3,200 that was owing, that the budget was reduced to that amount. At the combined divisional fellowship at USP this year, we raised more than 3,000. So that amount will offset this 3,200. So when you come back, when you go to the annual meeting next year, remember this. So that's been offset. So 21-22 is clear. So the only year we have now in question is 2022-2023, which is 9,000 something, and 2023-2024, which is 11,000, and the budget for the present financial year. That is what's due to the division. We bring it to this quarterly meeting to approve that change. That was a meeting I had with the stewards and treasurers. The process in which the elimination was done, we actually eliminated everything relating to the fellowship groups. We eliminated other items that related to the conference levy, capital expenditure, and the amount that was adjusted there was for the vehicle, because it was purchased in that financial year. That amount was reduced from 21,000 to 1,400, which is the portion for the 4 months from September, October, November, and December. That's how you have the 11,000. So that's been brought to this meeting. All in favor, say aye. Nada. Is there any other thing from the treasurer?
No. Because the property, finance, no.
No. So that's done. Thank you, everyone. We have also the World Methodist Evangelism Seminar that's coming up. The head office contacted me asking me if I could help them. And they had received 8 names. And I'm asking all those in the local churches, would you please contact your minister for your circuit if you would like to attend this seminar, the World Methodist Evangelism Seminar. We're having speakers from the Methodist Church around the world who will be attending this seminar from the 20th to the 24th of next month. Don't go straight to them. Contact your minister, and through your minister, if you'd like to attend, pay the $30 or come to the office. Circuit office, pay the $30 so that you can be registered with this seminar. So the amount is $30. Someone had asked me, I think it was Lani, if we can assist the members in the church. If the circuit, I said to them, well, right now we're trying to get money at the divisional level. But if your local church can support you and provide the funding for you, well and good. That will be good. But otherwise, just bring your $30. So these are the names: Ramo, Navanu, Nabula Tabu from Nandi, from Ba, Wesley, Erawan, Adelini Seru Kalo from Wesley City Mission, Eliasa Kahamia, Wesley City Mission, Tarusila Tema O'Connor, Wesley City Mission, Inisimeri Kali, Wesley City Mission, Makaratamua, Wesley City Mission, Alicinda Villa Walker, Wesley City Mission, Timaima Singsanale Boadromo, Wesley City Mission. These are the 8 people who have registered. Anyone else? This is from the head office, because I told them that I do not know who in Wesley is registering for that seminar until you provide me the list. So they provided me this list. So is there any other names? Can I have your names? Joseph Okabe,
Faith and Ben.
Lam.
Lemba Halofaki,
Faith and Ben.
Faith Olobola, Johnny Tigoda? Yeah. Anyone else? Faith Olabola is here? Yeah. Johnny Tigoda? You've already registered it. So these are the names. Any other name? No other name? If you would like to attend this seminar, please let me know so that we can register you. The registration will be closing soon, at the end of the month, I think. Naka. That takes care of that. We come to we have we come to the divisional office. I think it was also one of the items in the Wesley City Mission meeting the last meeting, when inquiries about when to start. But before that, let's just look at a report also from, I think, the internal audit report. The internal audit report for Wesley City Mission has finished, and that was presented by Sunia Rabono, and we thank him for the work well done. We've also had a response from the Finance and Property Committee of the Wesley City Mission Church, and we will sit with them to discuss their comments and also their resolutions. But we thank Mr. Rabono for that very comprehensive work that he and the team have done. He has also written in to say that the work on Pacific Harbour audit is going to start. And has it started already, Pacific Harbour?
No, I want to suggest if we can do some of the other churches. In fact, I'm just waiting for my visa to go to
Oh, okay.
Hawaii.
So your visa is, you're going to Hawaii? And he's a key person in Pacific Harbour. Can we start with another church? Oh, you have Lami, so you're going to work on Lami. Thank you. If you need help, please, you have been given the power to solicit help for your work. And we hope that this work will be ongoing into the future. Thank you, Mr. Rabono. Anything else you'd like to say? Thank you. Naka. As for the office of the division in the circuit, it has never changed. That office is where the two ladies, Sangale and Tiva, are occupying at the moment. That has always been the office and always will be the office, but I noticed the space is too small. Maybe we need to take over Talatala's office, Tala Joseph's office, or take over the circuit minister's office here. But the circuit minister has always been here, so that office is there. I noticed the circuit minister's office too has been reduced since I came. You could see the partitioning. They made it a little bigger, but we need the secretary for the division in the circuit also to have a spot in there. That's an important role, because that person will be the one who is following up on all the meeting resolutions. So it's a question of space. We've got Setoki Twiteri, who is a qualified architect. He's come and he's had a look at it, and he's doing a draft paper, but it's taking a bit too long. I can't do much with that. I just wanted it to be done nicely. If he can propose how we can maximize the space on this floor over here. So that's the report of the division and the sector office. Is there anything else, Tiraralepo, you have in mind I might have missed? And that was, so Sananda and Tivan have been there in that role, and they've been volunteers in that role for some time now. And the review of that, the roles in that office, was being carried out by the Human Resources Committee. And we have met, and we have not met, and we have met again and not met. And I think the last meeting we had, they had asked me if I could come up with the expectations for those roles. What are the minister's expectations? And we take it from there. And so that's something that I'm hoping to finish this month, if I can. I will finish it this month, before the end of the month. But if you are good in human resources and you can come and help, please come and help. Let's just get this thing rolling and moving forward. Nada. I think I'm finished there. We will, after that is done, there's some work that also has already been done. Then we will advertise the post. When we advertise the post, we had also spoken to Tiba and to Sanali. We had an interview with them. They are most welcome to apply for the post when it's advertised. But first of all, we need to finish the work that we have been doing. So, yes, Mrs. Tisawa.
Just a clarification. That means those two posts have been circuit posts.
Yes.
Paid by the circuit. They have been paid by employees of,
yes.
have they been employees of the circuit?
Yes.
Because we were told something different.
Yes. That role is meant to be paid by the secretary.
I think it has been paid by the Wesley Church all this time, and for that reason, I think there may have been some confusion. Because according to the Wesley Church leaders meeting, these two were or are the employees of the church. Thank you.
Thank you. I think I've explained before in the past, we used to have the receptionist in that office. Receptionist/secretary. And she was the secretary for the minister, when there was only one minister. And then she was the reception also, in the receiving calls, incoming calls. And that position is because it serves the circuit. And the circuit is Wesley, Masimu, Pacificava, and Lana. And rightfully that position, that cost should be borne by the circuit. One of the major work that the person does is newsletter, but we have communication now. And the communication ministry can take care of that. So when you deduce the roles and responsibilities of the person in that office, really, it's a receptionist and a secretary to the minister. The rest of the work are done by those who are elected and appointed in the official meetings of the church. And they are officers in the church. I hope that is clear. Any more questions? Yes, ma'am. Ready?
Just got a question. All the just a question. The circuit secretary has been Lema Al-Fati, which is did the secretary work for the last 5 years. And might I add, she's also the division secretary. So where does that come in? Because she's been doing it.
She's been doing the work. If it's in that budget, we budgeted for it. Give them what you did to her. What's your point?
My point is, you say that there are 2 volunteers in the office. So this is where I'm coming from. They have not taken minutes for the circuit.
Yeah. Like I've explained already, Sangalia, she does a lot of errands for the church. She goes to the bank, there's a lot of little things that she does. They look after the phone, the reception, the answering the phones. There are some work, but there's a lot of overlapping of work. And that's why the HR committee was chosen, so that we can iron out the roles of those different positions, so that it is clear. And that work is almost there. Are you see it? Almost there. Remember? But we thank Lemba very much for her commitment and faithfulness. The Lord will bless you, Lemba.
Thank you for not making me say the same things again, but thank you, Rabini, for saying that. I apologize to the meeting because there are no minutes, because I just cannot physically do it. I had been on my back for 2 weeks, sick, and the doctor told me it was extreme fatigue. So I apologize. Even that catechist lay preachers came, I think, 8:59 a.m. this morning. So that's why I asked at the last meeting that I get an assistant secretary, and this is why Alice is here, and I am proposing that Alice takes on the role of being secretary. And I can assist. But I would like if somebody else wants to step up to Alice, and that's good. And also ask John take on the secretarial work for the catechist. And what's important here is the ministry of presence. You have to be present at every meeting. You cannot take minutes if you are not there. And that's why I keep stepping in when people don't come to meetings. So I'm the secretary at church, I'm the secretary everywhere, even the circuit and finance. Thank you, Fred, for taking on the secretariat this last meeting. And I would like that people step up in those groups and take the minutes, because, I would like to be slowly concentrating on the divisional work, and as you know, on the Methodist Church big responsibilities, and slowly get the younger ones to step into the roles. I'm formally asking here, and for that, to adequately equip the secretaries with the computers. And at the last meeting, I know I didn't minute it, it was agreed that the circuit buys a recorder for the meetings, because I only write, and sometimes I can't hear what everybody is saying, so some things can be left out. So I am formally proposing here that I be relieved from some of the responsibilities, to the circuit, and that other people that had been named step in and take those roles.
Thank you, Member. The last item on the agenda for today, I received an email from the Prime Minister of our country. He's a member of Wesley City Mission Church. He came to the 8 o'clock service where I preached, and the message touched him, and he wrote me to share his concerns about a Sunday school teacher from his church, City Mission, who had written on the Facebook page, his Facebook page as the Prime Minister, asking him, Mr. Prime Minister, why aren't your grandchildren coming to Sunday school? We have discussed this, the Wesley Sunday school teachers and the superintendent, and hoping that Mrs. Mbose, who is the superintendent, will be able to have an audience with the person or conversation with the person before she meets with me. And Mrs. Mbose is here, and if she can just confirm if she's met with the person yet, Mrs. Mbose? Haven't yet. Okay, thank you. Okay. But one of my concerns, you remember, this is spiritual thing. Yeah. You know, the spiritual undercurrents. Undercurrents comes from intentions, hidden intentions, and that's how the evil spirit comes in. Hidden motives. You carry around this place, in the church, in the meetings, in Sunday school, in fellowship, in worship. You carry those hidden motives. That's an open door for demon spirit to enter. If you're open, and you have nothing to hide, and you speak the truth always, you leave no room for the enemy to work. I was very shocked and disappointed when I read that. But I hope it's not true. That's my hope. I hope that maybe it wasn't her, but somebody else who tried to have her come. But from the signs of the events that has taken place already, it's kind of pointing towards the more positive side, that it is true than negative. But I hope it is not true. And I hope that the person themselves can be honest to admit it. I've already sought the forgiveness written to the Prime Minister and asked him to forgive us. And see, this is what happens. When anything happens, anything goes wrong, everybody will look to the superintendent. And the Prime Minister did mention names. So please take this on board. Don't impose or interrogate in the way you conduct fellowship. Fellowship is fellowship. Whoever comes, comes. Who doesn't come, doesn't come. But instead of saying, why didn't you? You can say, ma'am, I missed you last Sunday. Just a different way of saying things. Eh? So learn how to speak. As I said in Fiji, to the Sunday school meeting we had, Gona I barita ni sarangani, bien liu, dongan toka, in the Thai. If you know Fiji, you know what I mean. And that spirit sometimes is seen here, and we need to destroy it before it destroys us. I thought I'd raise that with us today. Thank you, Alfred.
Thank you. First of all, I'd like to apologize to Tata last year and also for whatever I've said that earlier on that had actually hurt someone. I apologize for that. It's just the way I want things to be done here in the meeting instead of going on to out of the meeting and I talk more about it. But I thank God that we're able to share whatever we discuss. And I pray that God will continue to move in our lives in terms of our leadership and our management of what we do for the circuit. And in fact, this is all about the glory of God. And I want to share this with you about the glory of God. I speak on behalf of the music ministry to say thank you to the Wesley Circuit, all members from the Wesley Circuit who had supported the Wesley Division Choir Conference. And we did our best, and I continue to say this to the choir, continue to share this with people. They said, all this that we are doing is about God's glory. I do not see myself to be in that picture. And I continue to praise God, thank God, because this is all about Him, not about me, not about the choir. It's all about God's glory. For the members that came and supported the divisional choir, came to sing in the conference, I speak on behalf of Mama and the organizing committee. Thank you all for your support. I thank Tata Langasi, Tata Joseph, and all the Tatalas who came on board to support the choir. Although they did not attend most of our practice, but I could see that they were able to sing the song. And I thank them for minding half part of the music, but thank you so much, Tata Langasi, for joining the choir. You know, it's about the family. This is about the family that has been created all this while, and I thank everyone for joining in as a family. You know, we could not make this happen unless everyone had support. I must say thank you to Pescataba. Pescataba, thank you so much for traveling all the way from Pescataba and attending the practice here in Soba. It's not an easy task. We talk about finance. I must share this with us and say, Pescataba has committed so much in hiring their bus to come all the way down to Soba to attend the practice. Not only the practice, but the Sunday of the sale and also in the conference. Thank you so much, Pescataba, for your commitment. I thank Nasiru for the commitment. Not only our local churches, Landi has been working, and also I thank those in the City Mission Church. Thank you so much for your support. I encourage us to please let's look forward. Whatever's there before us in the future, let's try and work all hands together. For those of you who are unable to join us, let us reiterate what Tata said. Tata Langasi said, we really miss you. We really miss you. And I pray that God will bless all of you. My brother here is telling me, okay, son, I'm going. So, all glory to God. Pray that God will bless each and every one of you.
Naka. Thank you, Alfred. Thank you, Alfred, also leading the choir. You made us proud, the choir, of the conference. And just on that note, I'm also encouraging the choir and inviting the choir to join the mess choir for the World Methodist Evangelism Seminar on the 20th of October. It was announced on the radio Chishumatua that Wesley, in division, Rutuma, Subaho, will be making up that mass choir on the 20th. And you are to meet at the Dome at 3:30 p.m. I've sent a secular out already to the divisional coordinator for the music, Bama, and it was sent out last night. That's for the mass choir. And just another note also, I noticed, please, when we are meeting, try and avoid personal pronouns, even if it is to do with a church. It's not your church. This is God's church, and we are part of it all. It's not Wesley City Mission, it's not Pacific Harbor, it's not Massimo, it's not Lamy Oceania. We are one. So when you point at one, you point at yourself. Let's foster that unity. Let's build that understanding, and let's help one another. In the final item under matters arising is the divisional steward, or chief steward, Mr. Jackson Evans, has resigned, and he has sent me his resignation. He is moving to Papua New Guinea in a couple of weeks' time to take up his new posting as the ambassador for Papua New Guinea, for Fiji in Papua New Guinea. So now he's Your Excellency Jackson Evans. So we thank God for that. And he was just faithful for a little while, and God took him away to Papua New Guinea. So the position of Chief Steward right now is void. I had asked Bully to come in because Bully had resigned, stepped down because of his sickness. He had a stroke and he was recovering from that. And I asked him if he can just come and fill in that role. So something extraordinary happened at our conference this year. We had two Tirara labels representing the Wesley Circuit. In the meeting, no one picked it out, but usually you only have one person. We had Dr. Pinwala as well, who was at that meeting. Dr. Pinwala's name was the second name nominated at the annual divisional meeting to be the divisional steward. I have spoken to both Woolly and Dr. Penny, and I've asked them to help the church move forward, to help one another, because they know a lot of information, especially Woolly. Since I came in and all that I've been trying to do, and Dr. Penny as well. So I've asked Dr. Penny if he would take up at the moment the position of Circuit Steward, and he said he's willing to take it up. And I hope that whoever is that takes up that position stewards will work with him. He plays an important role. And in the conference they were given a job description. And their job description covers the management of all assets, just like a division superintendent within the division. That includes the local churches within that division and circuit. So they will be working together for this period, and I bring his name to recommend to this meeting to take up that role, to fill that role, and that Buliwo Bulanakawa be his assistant. That's on the floor now. Does anyone else have any other name to recommend to this meeting? And according to the revised constitution that we are working on, whoever is appointed the circuit steward also becomes the divisional steward. Are there any other names from the floor? We're also trying to do something that those who are above 70, we're asking them just to retire. We're looking for young, energetic people who can do the work. Are there any other names? Yes, member? Like the Tinamwala? Would you like to respond to that idea? Stepping down, there's a lot of commitments he has. Any other names? You volunteer to assist, you have Thank you. Usaya Tukan is volunteering to be an assistant. Any other names? We recommended it close. All in favor say aye. Okay. That's it. Are there?
One last point, please.
Yes.
Quick question. Can the copy of our audit report, notes and recommendation be given to our treasurer?
Thank you. The audit report,
For this circuit, their recommendation and notes, can they be given to the church's treasurers so that they can prepare and also...
Okay. We will share information. When the internal audit is done for all the churches, especially the financing property in all the churches, will get a copy of all the internal audit reports. This is an exercise to help. To help. If there's anything really wrong, then we have to deal with that matter. But it is to help build and grow and move forward, not to destroy. I hope that is clear. Now, is there any other business? It's 1 o'clock. I have to be in Natovi to catch the boat that leaves at 5 o'clock. Are there any other business? Otherwise, I welcome you also to cross the floor to the hall and buy your meals from there. $10 one serve for seafood and for chicken. That will help the social service and social welfare work in the church. $10. You can't get another serve in Suba like that. The price is so good. Yes, member, do I move my somo? You pay to Arietta, she's the division treasurer. To Arietta. not to the circuit. You pay to the division and she'll mark your circuit as paid. Move that the meeting close. All in favor say aye. Thank you very much. Please let us stand and sing one song together. Bind us together, Lord, bind us together with love that cannot be broken. Bind us together, Lord, bind us together, Lord, bind us together. There is only one God. There is only one King. There is only one body. That is what I see. Bind us together, Lord, bind us together with bonds that cannot be broken. Bind us together, Lord, bind us together, Lord, bind us together with love. Please, I beg your pardon. The Holy Spirit just dropped something into my mind that I said in the annual divisional meeting this year. When the decision was taken for me to stay with Wesley for another year, I called for a show of hands. An unanimous decision was made. But this is what I said at the annual meeting. I will go to my circuit. At that circuit meeting, I will call for a show of hands. If they support the annual divisional meeting decision, then we will proceed with a request to the head office. And we are here now. That decision was made then. I just want all other talks to stop after this. And that decision I brought to this meeting. If you're in favor of that decision, raise your hands. Somebody count the hands that are raised. The decision is the decision of the annual divisional meeting that we stay. Raise your hands. Raise your hands so that you can be seen. The majority has it. However, this is the second president that has come in, and he wants me to go to the college. And at the ministerial meeting last Thursday, they want me to go to the college. I said this to Jackson Evans when he came to Namatakula some years ago. When the decision was made just after 1 year in Namatakula for me to come back to Suva. And he said, we're waiting for you to come to Suva. We're praying hard for you to return to Wesley. I said this to Jackson. Jackson, you pray hard. Namatakula, the land of Usu, is praying hard also for me to stay. Whichever the Lord answers, I will honor. And the one of Usu went to the head office and asked if I could stay. years. This is our 5th year. I'm allowing this process to happen, but I'm still open to the Holy Spirit's leading and guidance in our lives, whether we should. You carry on the process. That process has to be final. You finish that bit. As for me and Radini, we're waiting on the Holy Spirit to guide us. There's a need. 2 presidents have come and they want me to go to the college. The college wants me in the college. The division wants me in the division here. Pray hard, and let the decision of the Lord happen. I thank you for listening to me, and I'm sorry for disturbing the ending of the meeting this afternoon. Let us pray. We will continue to listen to you, to your guidance. We will continue to obey your word. Teach us your way, so that we may follow you thoroughly and hear your voice speaking to us. We thank you, Lord, for the decisions we've arrived at today. We thank you, our brothers and sisters in Wesley Circuit Mission, in Pacific Harbor, Lago Oceania, and Nassau, and the wider Wesley family. Thank you for this privilege and honor to be part of the body of Christ. When we look around us, Lord, we're seeing, noticing changes. Changes that's raising concern amongst us. We need answers to them all. And we pray that our youth, our young people, Lord, will be drawn into the kingdom. And not only drawn into the kingdom, but they will be given charge. And they will be trusted, O Lord, to carry out their responsibilities and roles in the church as they should. Lord, we thank you for the deliberations today. And we pray, Lord, if there's anything that we may have done or said, or actions performed in any way that may have hurt someone, we ask that you forgive us, cleanse us of all our unrighteousness. We also pray, O God, that you will bless